Come on! Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the world, I am George Massey, here today to review Hidden Figures.
My gals are ready. We can do the work.
It's well made, it's good, but it feels almost too safe. It could have done with something a bit more visceral, a bit more raw, especially when it's dealing with the subject of racism and sexual inequality. I think everybody knows going into this what to kind of expect. You know what the story is about, so I can't ruin any of that. It has Kevin Costner in it, who's very much being Kevin Costner in a very Hollywood way, almost a 90s way. It did feel somewhat reminiscent of Apollo 13, now starring these three heroic women who you knew nothing about. I would say that one of the big flaws in the film is the lack of real humanity. Everything is a little bit too polished and too perfect. For example, the woman who I deem to be the main character of the film is supposed to be around 40, I believe. And she's a single mother and she has 3 children and she works full time, and yet there's a military man, the same guy who was in Moonlight, same actor, and this military man catches her eye, or she catches his eye, and it's made out that he just falls madly in love with her, and it's really far-fetched. It's like you got this guy who's super cool, super confident, super charismatic. All of the women want him.
That Colonel Jim is a tall glass of water.
That he is. Tall, strong, commanding.
Oh, and I bet he's like the day and night.
He's tall, he's good looking, he's authoritative, he's in a position of military power, right? And you're under the impression that he could have pretty much any woman that he wants, especially at the party where he meets her, and yet he flocks over to this woman who's approaching a later age with 3 kids, and it's almost like a fairy tale whereby he just swoops down out of nowhere and is like, babe, even though I'm so perfect and all of the women want me, I'm totally gonna sacrifice all of my love and all of my freedom for everybody else, and I'm gonna give all of that love to you because I want to marry you and I want to be at home with you and your 3 children, and I'm gonna sacrifice everything because I adore you. You're so wonderful, you're so perfect, and even though you ain't even kissing me yet, even though we've been together for like 3 months and you ain't even giving me so much as a single kiss, I'm gonna put a ring on your finger, I'm gonna take care of your 3 children, I'm gonna sacrifice my life so that I can look after your family, even though you work full time and I ain't never gonna get to see you because you work in one of the most long hour ass jobs in the entire world. It's like, come on, like, now, I know this is supposed to be based on a true story, so I'm not saying that she didn't fall in love with someone and someone didn't fall in love with her. If that happened, that's fine. But the way in which it is depicted in this movie, like he just sees her and then he kind of can't resist her, is completely not believable. And that is sort of the tone of the movie, that even though it takes place within reality, it feels like it is very, very sugar-coated with Hollywood icing, to the point where even what would be sad and difficult and strenuous for black women being repressed in a predominantly white male environment at the time when NASA were trying to compete with the Russians and get into space, the actual harder edge, the difficulty that those black women would have faced, I feel like that could have been emphasized more. It could have been a more powerful film. That being said, I didn't know about these women. It's a story that is new to me. I did feel like I learned something from it, and it was entertaining in a kind of good TV drama kind of a way, back when they weren't allowed to swear, that kind of a vibe. And some of it's very well shot, especially the beginning. I loved the way the film began. It looked so beautiful. Some of the framing of the shots with the car on the road and all that stuff. As soon as it began, I really loved it. I loved it more when it started than when it ended, but ultimately, it's still a good movie. I am George. Don't forget to subscribe. It will be, without question, the best decision you ever made in your entire life. Signing off.